creating a space where young people can learn from experience, learn from.
தங்கள் தலைமுறையினர் செய்ய வேண்டிய அனைத்தையும் செய்து முடித்து விட்டதாகவும் தற்போதைய புதிய தலைமுறையினரின் சிந்தனைகளையும் தேவைகளையும் அவர்களே நன்கு அறிவார்கள் என்று முன்னாள் ஜனாதிபதி ரணில் விக்ரமசிங்க தெரிவித்துள்ளார். கொழும்பில் இடம்பெற்ற இளைய தலைமுறையினருடனான கலந்துரையாடல் நிகழ்வில் கலந்து கொண்டு உரையாற்றிய போதே அவர் இதனை தெரிவித்துள்ளார். புதிய உலகை வழிநடத்த இளைஞர்கள் பயமின்றி முன்வந்து தலைமைத்துவத்தை பொறுப்பேற்க வேண்டும் என கேட்டுக்கொண்ட அவர் அவ்வாறு முன்வரும் இளைஞர்களுக்கு முழுமையான ஆலோசனைகள் உதவிகளையும் வழங்கத்தான் தயாராக இருப்பதாக உறுதியளித்தார். முன்னாள் ஜனாதிபதி ஜே.ஆர். ஜெயவர்தன தனது காலத்தில் இளம் தலைவர்களுக்கு எவ்வாறு வாய்ப்பளித்தாரோ அதேபோல தற்போதைய இளைஞர்களும் தங்களுக்கு தேவையான எதிர்காலத்தை தாங்களே வடிவமைக்க வேண்டும் என அவர் இதன் போது அறைகூவல் விடுத்தார்.
So we are planning to take this initiative across Sri Lanka. We'll be going bringing these conversations closer to young people from different communities and backgrounds. So what's the beginning of many stories that are yet to be written. The beginning of you hearing your thoughts and learning from you as much as you learn from us today. So thank you, and once again,
thank you, Pasidu. Yeah. Live again.
Our civilization. In 1940, our motherland began a new chapter. A journey filled with triumphs, challenges and transformation. Along that journey, legends were born, icons emerged, leaders rose to guide the nation through moments of hope and uncertainty.
In Parliament, we fight each other very strongly, but I hope very politely and with the highest traditions of parliamentary practice. Mr. And I agree is that when we leave Sri Lanka, we don't.
Then my party to victory in 1977. I received 51% of the votes, and I hope we will have the same luck in the months to come.
And leaders developing countries of its time. But the time has come to learn from experience. Sri Lanka's most experienced political leader is ready. Journey of wisdom, a conversation about leadership.
And I will be hosting along with Vinja. Ladies and gentlemen, are being given. Fortunately, tonight's guest has more than 4 decades of experience and also navigating the most defining moments in modern Sri Lankan history. A slightly more different question, what happens next?
Trial is about a new initiative, the first of many, an extension of this new initiative. I would like to invite, please welcome Pasidu onto the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly wonderful to see who applied and who are selected and who are here with us today. Welcome everyone. So we have been waiting for this day. Initially planning to have the first initial program of this pre-lit running program back in March. During March and that time period, so we had, after the postponement was announced, almost every one of you, so you waited patiently because you knew the program and there's something waiting for you. So personally, I am feeling that an opportunity to go through. Firstly, I have to mention that this is not going to be a usual.
QR එක ස්කෑන් කරන්න. QR එක ස්කෑන් කරලා QR එක ස්කෑන් කරන්න. QR
so specially want to mention, 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 so specially want to mention that under the guide, so specially want to mention, 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 so specially want to mention that under the guidance, advice and close supervision of our former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, we successfully led the digital transformation of politics for the first time in Sri Lanka. Today, we invite you all to scan the QR code that we have provided for you to get involved in our digital platform and experience democracy at your fingertips.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are about to begin this session. It is our immense privilege to invite to the stage a statesman whose public life has spanned over 4 decades, an experienced leader who has witnessed and shaped many defining chapters of Sri Lanka's journey. Please join me in warmly welcoming the 8th Executive President of Sri Lanka, Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe, to the stage.
I would also like to invite Pasitha Gunaratna to accompany Sir to the stage.
Friends, first my apologies. I am 4 months late. As Harin asked me, I gave you a time in March. But health reasons compel me to put it off. And I come today. And you can just see how much the world order has changed from March to today. If I had been in March, we had just seen the beginning of a conflict of Iran. Today you are seeing some outcome. But when Harin asked me about the world order, and I was a bit worried to speak on it. Because unless you are in touch with President Trump daily, you won't know what he will do next day. And he doesn't know what he will do day after. So subject to that, I will like to say a few words. I was born over 7 decades ago, nearly 8 decades. That was the time when the world order was changing. World War II had taken place. European nations, except for UK, had collapsed completely. And it is the Soviet Union, the Americans, the Chinese, the Indian forces, and other like in Africa, Sri Lanka and all, who were able to really give the manpower and the resources to defeat the fascist forces. So as a result, the colonies were getting independent. I was born just a year after Sri Lanka got independence. So that was the period. First the Asian countries, then the African countries. We went through that. Now that changed in about late 80s, early 90s, when the communist system collapsed and the Cold War that existed between the America and the West and the Soviet Union all disappeared. But now, you are at a stage when you are witnessing the next most important, the shift of economic power away from the West or from the West to the East. That is big. Until the mid-18th century, about 1750s or so, India and China were the most powerful areas in the world. China as a country, India as a continent. Now, all that wealth got transferred out to the West. Part of it went to basically for the Industrial Revolution. Now it is coming back. So remember the world you are living in. By 2050, I don't know about me, but all of you should be there. The country with the largest GDP will be China, 50 trillion plus. Then comes India with about 44 trillion, followed by USA. Some in USA say that USA will be second and India will be third. It's immaterial. The gap is so small. So these three countries. Then you have the next big one, that is fourth. What will be the fourth largest nation? France? UK? Canada? Germany? Indonesia with $10 trillion. You have to understand that Bangladesh will have $3 trillion. If they develop faster, they can go up to 4.5. Malaysia, Thailand, all will have $2 trillion. So that's how the world is. I'm not talking about Japan will still be there, but the power will go into Asia, to this part of the world. So that is one, that is shifting the world. Secondly, there's also the West Asia, where there's white going on, but most of the countries are wealthy, they'll become wealthier. Towards the end of this century, it will be Africa. That's why China is putting in all its focus on Africa and helping to build them up, because that will be the next country, next continent that will develop fast. So in Asia, Africa. Now there, I think most of the countries, Western countries and China are trying to have two railways across Africa. One starting from Kenya, goes through Uganda and on to Cameroon. The other one will cut through Angola in the Luanda railway and come out near Dar es Salaam. So you can see how the developments are going to take place. So this is one. Secondly, if you look at nuclear power, there's America. The second one is not one of those great economic players, but Russia. And they have enough, the economic strength is sufficient to carry those missiles through. Then China, that is coming up. So you get this double triangle. One is as economic power, China, India, US. As the nuclear powers, US, Russia, China. What they fear is that Russia and China together may have more missiles than US. Then how many others will be? Most of them have carried out their tests. India has. Many of the others have. So it's a changing world order, which is moving away from Europe. And I must say, in fairness to President Trump, he has recognized that. He has called China and they are the global superpowers. He's accepted that. He has not got himself involved in the Ukraine war. Nothing to do, and Russia is not going to invade the rest of Europe. They haven't the capacity to do it. He's also dealing with President Putin. Those are essentials. There is a lot of hurt about how he is dealing with Europe, maybe dealing roughly, but the fact is these countries count more. Then again, the adjustment of their relations with India. So there are a whole lot of, I would say, new ones taking the two triangles. How US gets its relations with China, with India and with Russia. Then how China works out, and similarly how Russia works out. And one of the important things is how the India-China relationship works out. So this is one part. Then within Asia, what do we do? There's also another issue, the status of Iran. Iran has been, now again there's a war going on in Iran. They are going to bomb the bridges one day, they are going to bomb the light post the other day, then I don't know, they bomb the trash cans the next day, and whether it will succeed. You all don't remember, but long before your time, we remember that they were going to bomb the hell out of North Vietnam. At the end of it, the Americans withdrew from North Vietnam. North Vietnam took over South Vietnam and made it the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. So if the bombing will work or not, I cannot say. But these are the experiences that we have. The Taliban was bombed by the Soviets, bombed by the Americans, Talibans are still there, whether you like them or not. So this is a part of the world we live in. Now, into this trade and all will develop. So it's a new relationship. How are you going to work it out, especially in Asia around the Taiwan issue? A lot of them have relied on America to do the foreign policy. They can't rely on America anymore. That I think is a fairly good description. Why should you rely on America? Work it out yourself. Americans also realize they have come to certain limits. So you can see a lot of changes are taking place in the State Department, for the better and for the worse both. What are the other developments we can look at? I would say two things. One of the biggest impacts.
So especially want to mention that under the guidance, advice and close supervision of our former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, we successfully led the digital transformation of politics for the first time in Sri Lanka. Today, we invite you all to scan the QR code that we have provided for you to get involved in our digital platform and experience democracy at your fingertips.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are about to begin this session. It is our immense privilege to invite to the stage a statesman whose public life has spanned over 4 decades, an experienced leader who has witnessed and shaped many defining chapters of Sri Lanka's journey. Please join me in warmly welcoming the 8th Executive President of Sri Lanka, Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe, to the stage.
I would also like to invite Pasithu Gunaratna to accompany sir.
மேலதிக செய்திகளுக்காக எமது யூடியூப் தளத்தை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் செய்யுங்கள்.